Gonna do this Reddit post. 28 male. How do I recover my sex life after a devastating accident with 28 year old female wife? So I am a male with two kids that I love. My wife and I have been married for 2 years. You have two kids and you have been married for 2 years. Okay. Oh, but you've been together for 6 years. Okay. Okay. So you had kids before you got married. We have always struggled sexually. You've been together for 6 years and you've always struggled sexually.
Why did you get married?
I kind of feel like she may be borderline asexual. Okay, she can go very long periods of time without sex, and I'm a very sexual person. Other than our sex life, we are best friends and enjoy life together. About a year and a half ago, I had an accident backcountry snowboarding and was life flighted. I lost my spleen, lacerated my liver, lacerated my stomach, and lost a large portion of my colon. I had a very long recovery, and during that time, there was no sex going on at all. But now that I'm better, it feels like we have really fallen hard into being without sex. Much worse than we were before. We had sex twice in the last year. Ooh. We often make plans to have sex probably every single month, but for some reason it never happens, and I get tired of being the only one who initiates it. I find myself fantasizing over other women and wanting to exchange nudes anonymously because I've been so detached from my personal sex life. I guess I just want to know if I'm alone. I hardly feel like a man anymore because I feel as if I'm not desired sexually. The risks that I've been willing to take to feel as if I'm wanted sexually are not worth losing my family over, but I struggle with it on a daily basis. Is there any advice on where I can go from here?
Have you talked to your wife about this? It doesn't sound like
you have. You
has.
You need to talk to your wife. You need to go to couples therapy, maybe trauma therapy. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not having sex, you only had sex twice in 1 year, and you agreed to have sex at least once a month, and that's not happening, every time it doesn't happen, I would be bringing it up. Like, why haven't we had sex this month? Like, what's going on? What do you mean you talk about it? Like, ask her, get to a point, like, are you asexual? Like, understand, maybe she is, and then you have to have that conversation of, like, is she willing to have sex? Or is it, like, she's like, I don't even want to have sex with you. Because if she doesn't want to have sex with you, then that's...
You need to divorce.
You need to get a divorce. Like, it's done. You've always struggled in your relationship. 6 years together and you've struggled. Why would you get married to someone that you were struggling sexually with? You got married, so you were together for 4 years and was having bad sex and then got married.
Why would you do that? Just because you have the same common interests as someone doesn't mean that you should marry them. And also, and I see this a lot, I don't want to lose my family. And it's like, okay, then if you can divorce someone and not lose your family. Yeah. Your family just changes.
Yes.
You're not...
You can still be friends with her. She's still part of your family. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, negative or, like, toxic or anything.
I mean, you will lose your family if you decide to cheat on her for this because you haven't talked to her about it.
And then I want to, I'm thinking about other people and stuff like that. Like, have you had a conversation about opening your relationship? If she's like, oh yeah, I don't really want to have sex. I really like our family dynamic. I just want to be together as a unit. Mm-hmm. And be like, okay, well, can I have sex with other people?
Maybe she'd be okay with that. You don't know if you don't ask.
If you don't ask, and then you get your needs met and you still have your loving relationship, and then you don't have to worry about, like, the fact that your sex sucks in your relationship because it's not a part of the relationship anymore.
Yeah.
Like, have a different dynamic. Give it a go. But you have to talk. It doesn't sound like you guys are talking.
No, not at all.
Like, did y'all, like, I understand, like, not having, like, you go through a traumatic event and then you don't have sex. I would have been talking about that during the traumatic situation. Like, okay, we're not having sex now, but when I'm ready, baby, when I'm back to normal, I'll be putting it in. I'm looking forward to the day. We're counting it down.
Right.
But y'all didn't have no conversation. Like, what is this? Is this a straight people thing? Y'all don't talk to each other.
I think it's a straight people thing.
They don't talk to each other.
No.
I don't understand.
How do you expect anything to happen if you don't
have talk
and plan? These things are just going to magically pop up.
It's magically going to happen. Things just happen out of thin
so
air.
Weird.
So weird. Okay. Oh, they did respond. Okay. So a poster wrote, how have the conversations on this topic gone? Have you asked if there are stresses in life that distract from sex? Ask if she truly is okay with no sex. Original poster. I've had this conversation multiple times.
Okay.
I probably should have elaborated on that. She says that she wants to have more sex, but does nothing about it. It's almost like she's just telling me what I want to hear. She did try changing some of her medications that may suppress her libido, but she still is very disconnected from it. Person says, sounds like a more honest conversation needs to occur, but then also at the end of the day, would you be prepared to leave over this? Because at some point, if you don't make an inline in the sand, there's no motivation for them to potentially change. Original poster. I think I should probably make it more clear that I've had desires that would put my family at risk, and there have been moments in my life that I've been willing to act on those come to my senses, but I have not acted on those desires. There's been some accusations made in the comments. Oh, okay. Some people are saying cheating. So he's thought about cheating. He had opportunities to cheat, but he doesn't cheat. Okay. But doesn't answer the question is like, okay, you had conversations about this. She says she's open to it, but she doesn't change. She doesn't change her behavior. So then I'm like, then why don't you go to a sex therapist so you can learn skills to initiate the behavior?
He says that he wants her to initiate, but has he actually told her that? Maybe she's waiting for him to initiate.
And maybe she doesn't want to. Yeah. Maybe she's like, well, no, let's have more sex, but you need to do it. Like I'm too shy, or I don't feel comfortable doing it. You need to fucking, start sucking on my titties or something. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people is like, I'm not gonna start it. Okay, this is long. Okay. Poster wrote, what's her history with her libido? You mentioned medications may be an issue and that shouldn't be overlooked. What's the birth control situation? What about her solo stuff? Does she have time and space to develop that? I'd refocus on rebuilding your wife's sexual life if it ever existed. It sounds more like she's accepted her reality of not being in the best sexual situation rather than a complete lack of interest in her whole life. But that's something you need to figure out. It may have been a mistake you need to try and live with if you decide to marry and have a whole family with someone that you were never sexually compatible with. Consider the vows and the seriousness of that commitment. I don't know about consider the vows. I'd be like, just break up.
Yeah.
Original poster. She has always struggled with it, and to be honest, I never knew how important it was to me until I got older. She had very little sex before we met. She is uncomfortable in lingerie or anything that puts her body on display. She is just not a sexually forward type of person. She is on a non-hormonal form of birth control, and she is also on an anxiety medication that she's been on for years. She had a lot of sex at one point we had a lot of sex at one point in our life. I would definitely say it took a dive after having kids, naturally, of course, but it is just taking such a big dive since my accident. We are both very fit individuals and have made a full recovery, and I've been left with very little cosmetic damage. Yeah, and this person says couples therapy. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Not even couples therapy. I think sex therapy, specifically sex therapy.
Well, that's hard because a lot of insurance won't cover that.
I know you got to pay out of pocket, but if this is important to you, you're gonna pay out of pocket because you need someone who can literally model and teach you how to have sex and like what you need to say, how you should be acting. Because if you don't know, you don't know. Like if someone's just like, oh, well, you guys should try these techniques. No, you need someone to be like
to show you
in the room. Yeah. Okay, I want you to say this. All right, now put your hand here. Put your hand here.
And if they were having sex a lot before they have kids, she's probably just like really uncomfortable with her body.
Yes. Yeah. This can be fixed. Yeah. This can easily be fixed. This just takes some more effort. Mm-hmm. And are you willing to put in that effort?
Find a good babysitter.
Yeah.
Find a good babysitter.
Those kids
you guys need to have a lot of time alone, I think.
They have 2 kids and they've been together for 6 years, so those kids are under 6.
Yeah. No,
that's
she's
cramping
exhausted.
the style. That's cramping the style, bruh. Y'all need to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Get grandparents, aunts, uncles, watch them kids, go on vacation for a week or 2, and then just like be naked most of the time. Just be in the hotel room naked. Fuck it.
He says that he wants to feel desired, but how do we know that he's not making her feel desired?
You're right. I agree. This can be fixed.
It can be fixed, so you guys have a lot of work to do.
You just you
need to put in the effort.
Put in the effort. I think sex therapy, not just couples therapy, sex therapy would do you guys really well and can fix this issue. Because it seems fixable, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then coming up with a schedule and sticking to it, that's really hard. Like, you did have a schedule, but you don't stick to it. So you have to, like, stick to it.
Maybe she's uncomfortable having sex while the kids are awake or around. So maybe you guys just need to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Date night means getting a hotel. Yeah. Maybe a motel. You're not going to stay there the whole night. You're going to come home. But, like, the whole point of the date night is to go fuck. Like, you just,
Yeah,
that
maybe
is the
you just
date.
need to be somewhere else.
Like, make it romantic. Get a jacuzzi room or something. I don't know.
Take the kids somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, this one wasn't a breakup one. Usually we're like, break up with them! But this one is like, nah, this one's relatively fixable, I think. And you guys could have a much happier life if you just put in a little bit more effort. Yep.
Yeah.
That's our opinion. Thanks for watching. Peace.